But I'm starting to wonder if the Lions deserve a little bit more credit defensively. And so we asked people how much of what happened on Sunday, in the snapshot of time that was a 60 minutes of football on Sunday, do you credit the Lions, and how much do you think it was just a fading Packers team with a fading quarterback? You got your percentage?
Yep.
Kang, you got your percentage?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you hear someone that has the exact same percentage as you, I would like you to say that's me. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah. All right. Just making sure.
I am as well, Doug.
All right. Good. I think it's 66 2/3 Packers, 33 1/3 the Lions. That's from Steph, a downriver mathematician.
Here we are.
Likes numbers.
That's you?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you hate numbers. That wouldn't be you.
Yeah. Bill Monroe says, I give the Lions defense 80% of the credit for the win. It's 20% on the Packers' struggles. Don in California says 45% Lions, 55% Rodgers struggles. Billy in a FedEx truck, 80% the Packers struggled, 20% on the Lions. The Lions did a good job stopping the run game. However, Rodgers threw 3 end zone picks, and every Packer drive made it into Lions territory. BG says Lions defense, 60%, Rodgers 40%. BC's, oh, is that you?
That was me.
Really?
I mean, was it 60-40?
60-40 Lions.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh,
That was the other way. I thought you read it the other way.
Oh, no.
Now you know.
Now we do know. So you think it's 60% Rodgers, 40% Lions?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're giving him 40% of the credit, to be honest with you. But
Really?
why do you go there?
The facts are those picks, all 3 of them were right in the end zone or right by the end zone. The one was a little longer, the Kirby Joseph one where he undercut that underthrown ball by Rodgers. But the other 2 deflected off a helmet right at the goal line, and the completely well underthrown ball to what he called Dave, his friend Dave. Yeah, so they moved the ball. But I won't discredit the fact that they weren't able to run the ball. That's part of the Lions' defense. And the fact that I think that the defense did affect maybe how Rodgers threw the ball. Why did he seemingly underthrow the ball so much? I will give the Lions front 4 some credit for that, although Rodgers still should have made those throws. And maybe because he is Aaron Rodgers, but you think most QBs, starting quarterbacks in this league, should make those throws. So I give Lions 40% because you still have to capitalize. Just because he underthrows it doesn't mean you're going to pick it off. Just because it's deflected doesn't mean you're going to pick it off. So, And like I said, with the run game, Aaron Jones was non-existent. A.J. Dillon didn't do anything. The best rusher they had was Aaron Rodgers, and that's because they were able to cover downfield. So although I think more of it is because Rodgers, those were just some bad throws, the Lions have to capitalize, so I will give them their due. I got 60-40. Rodgers 60, Lions 40%.
Okay, Jerry in Dearborn. It's 100% on the poor play from Green Bay and 0% on good play from the Lions. If Rodgers doesn't throw those 2 interceptions, the Lions lose the game. End of story.
Well, he threw 3.
Yep.
So you got to give him some credit then, right, Jer?
Jerry gives him no credit.
Yeah, I guess not.
Joe in Lincoln Park, Lions defense 40%, Green Bay and AA Ron 60%.
That's mine.
TT says, I have 70% the fault on the Packers offense, and Aaron Rodgers only 30% of the credit to the Lions defense. Aaron Rodgers is not wrong. He's just going over the top. Somebody writes, it's kind of like the Lions didn't force a single punt. Green Bay did punt once.
Once.
Yeah. Nick says 55% Lions defense, 45% lackluster offense. That's me. That's where I am.
You're 55 Lions defense.
I am.
Okay.
And I decided I was trying to figure out, okay, how does what the Lions defense do compared to what everyone else has done against the Packers in this 5-game streak? This 5-game losing streak. How did Aaron Rodgers and the Packers perform throughout this entire 5-game losing streak? And the fact is, this is Rodgers' worst game in the 5-game losing streak. His completion percentage against the Lions, 53.5. It is the lowest during the 5-game losing streak. In fact, it's his lowest since October 18th of 2020 against Carolina 38 games ago. The 3 interceptions against the Lions is the most during the 5-game losing streak of Green Bay. In fact, it's the most since December 17th of 2017, 77 games ago. And the 9 points Green Bay scored is the fewest they've scored during the streak. And single-digit points, they've done it just 3 times in the last 4 years. So the Lions did some things that actually is better than the other defenses that I would argue are better than the Lions defense, clearly. But we're talking about the snapshot of time on Sunday. I give the Lions a ton of credit. Well, not a ton of credit. I give them more than it's on Rodgers because they forced his worst performance of this losing streak. No comments?
Well, I'm still waiting for my percentage.
Okay.
Is your percentage gettable, Gator?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that mathematication.
No,
or
I'm
stuff
not like
or whatever.
78.3.
Yeah.
No, it's totally, it's a normal
All right,
percentage.
all right, yeah. You use some semblance of a round
Yeah,
number.
yeah, exactly.
It's 11%. Todd McCarr says 85% it's on the Packers, only 15% on the Lions defense.
That doesn't seem like it's giving much credit at all to the Lions.
It sounds like we're going to have to keep going because let's see from Twitch if we got any ones that haven't been said. Reese says, I think it's 60% Lions, 40% on Karen. The defensive line pressured him. What else here? Coy Boy, 60-40 Rodgers and the Lions defense. That seems to be a popular response. That's what you had, right, King?
That's Kang's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You just wanted to make sure you had 55 Lions because you want to make sure you think they deserve more of the credit, but not a ton more. But they do deserve
ton more. But
yeah.
I think it's clearly both, right? But,
yeah, it's a combination. You know.
But I thought the relevant thing to do was compare how Aaron Rodgers has played of late. This is his worst game. So I think it's okay to credit the Lions for playing Aaron Rodgers and this Packer offense better than the other teams in this streak, which have been.
This may be his worst game in that streak, though, Doug. But you also, I don't think, watched the entire games of those games.
No, I didn't watch the entire games. To be fair, I watched most of the Bills game, and that's probably the only one that I really watched a lot of. It was the 5 teams they played in this streak. They lost to the Giants 27-22, the Jets 27-10, the Commanders 23-21, the Bills 27-17, and now the Lions 15-9. Nobody's gotten your percentage.
No, and I'm dying to comment, so why don't I just
Go.
He's like,
please, God.
Please pick me.
I have it at 65% Karen, 35% Lions.
Okay.
I give the Lions all the credit in the world for stopping the run game. Running backs average 3 yards a carry. That's a great job by the defense in stopping the run. I have to give it to Rodgers, though, because he threw for 291 yards on only 23 completions. Guys ended up being wide open all over the field. Bakhtiari was wide open in the end zone. He blew that when he threw it to Hutchinson. He underthrows. The throw that went off of the helmet of Derek Barnes is beyond me.
You're not giving enough credit to Barnes.
He's just standing there. It's not like he jumped up in the air and blocked with his hand. He literally threw the ball 6 feet off the ground.
I know.
I mean, that's
big facetious.
Yeah, thank you. Terrible. The other Kirby Joseph interception was just a horrible underthrow. Kirby Joseph knocked the ball down on another horrible underthrow that would have been a touchdown. So I mean, I want to give the Lions more credit, but I can't. It's Aaron Rodgers, and the reason is because of what happened in those other games. After they lost to any of those games, did he say anything to the effect of, we can't lose a game like that to that team? No, he was I mean, he's like, which tells me he totally took the Lions for granted. It's like he didn't prepare. He looked like he didn't care by his play. He looked like he didn't care until the result comes in with an interception after interception, and then after those interceptions, he's fuming, whether it's at himself or at the team or whatever. But yeah, I think the majority of it is on Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely, he was terrible in that game, and all the plays the Lions made. I give him credit. I give the Lions a little bit of credit for being in position to make the play on an underthrown pass.
But still got to intercept the ball.
Yeah, but and so they made the rudimentary things you're supposed to do. Okay, make that play. But if the ball is thrown properly, those are all touchdowns.
So I think that we are almost taking too much credit away from Kirby Joseph for the one on the deep ball.
It was a nice play, but
that was a play where he lined
underthrown.
up. I don't think it was way underthrown. And that was the play where he lined up on the line of scrimmage, right? And was stride for the guy. I don't think Aaron Rodgers thought that Kirby Joseph could make that play. And Kirby Joseph proved that he could make that play. And
you're talking about the underthrown play or the
I think it's the bat away, actually,
yeah,
where he lined up on the line of scrimmage and went stride for stride with, I think it was Lazard, but I'm trying to find it to make sure I got it right. And I think that's a play that, people are just saying underthrow. We have a defensive back that actually was fast enough to go stride for stride. And then when it was counted on, could close and make the play. And that, I think that's a Kirby Joseph play.
I just don't know if he makes the plays if they're thrown properly. And that's why I'm getting, look, I love what the Lions did. All right. Because they were underthrown and they made the plays when they were underthrown. And I'm glad to see that. I love what they did against the run. But the Packers punted once. Aaron Rodgers was right. They shot themselves in the foot every time. It was on the Packers.
The funny thing about Rodgers saying we can't lose like that to that team, I think he wasn't taking any blame himself, really. I think he kept blaming, like, it was the other guy. It was my teammates' mental mistakes. And even the one thrown at Barnes' helmet. In the McAfee podcast, he says, because people are questioning that window he threw and he shouldn't have thrown it so low and in that area. He's like, you guys have no idea. I don't care what the football experts say. I make that throw 100 times or 1,000,000 times. And I'm not sure he even takes full blame for any of this. I feel like he's like,
which makes it worse. It's even more on him.
He's blaming all his teammates.
Yeah,
and the actual interception that Kirby Joseph had where he cut in front of the receiver, I just think that was a great defensive play. I don't think that ball was particularly poorly thrown, but
I think it was a little underthrown, but Kirby still had to make that play on it. I don't think Rodgers expected him to cut that direction.
That wasn't a gift.
No.